I've read over 20 books this year from multiple different authors and multiple different genres. This is a stack of books I haven't read. This is a stack of books I have read. And I will say that they have given me so much knowledge. It is ineffable what these books have done for me. Now, today, because I know what you're thinking, well, I don't like to read, it's hard for me to read, blah, 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 whatever. That's okay, because these books have helped me gain more confidence, have a better life, improve myself, all that jazz. Today, we're going to be talking about the top 5 self-improvement books that have helped me out the most. I know what you're thinking, this is just 3, but there's 2 other books, and I gave the physical copies to people, so we're going to go ahead and dive into this video. If you like the content that you're seeing, if you want to keep watching this kind of stuff, if you want to get into reading, subscribe. We're going to be going over books, we're going over self-improvement, we're going over entrepreneurship, we're going over the gym, bro. We're going over everything that you enjoy. It's going to be on this channel, so click the subscribe button and let's go ahead and dive into the video. So number 5, we're going in top 5 order, right? Discipline is Destiny. Discipline is Destiny. This book is so good. Ryan Holiday, by the way, which, to give you some background on Ryan Holiday, he is like a Stoic author. He writes about Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca. He also has written these books right here. These are some more of his titles as well. And then I actually don't have this book on the list, but The Daily Stoic. And in this book, it just goes over information about Stoicism every day. So you kind of just, I open this once a day and I read the page about Stoicism. So that's another book as well. But Ryan Holiday, Discipline is Destiny. Let's go ahead and give another look for the camera. Discipline is Destiny goes over other people that have been very disciplined. It shows examples of Queen Elizabeth, Lou Gehrig, the Yankees player, and how he was so disciplined. All sorts of different reasons why you should be disciplined, and ultimately helps you understand the concept of discipline like no other. And I will say personally that this book has really helped me understand the concept of discipline, what it means to be disciplined, and how to be disciplined. It tells you how to take action and just really goes into the skill of discipline. So, you know, I don't want to spend too much time going over all these books. I really want you guys to check them out. It's a very easy read. This is kind of like a beginner's guide for new readers. This is a very easy read. Every chapter is like 5 pages. So that's one thing that's definitely helped me out in a lot of books, is when the chapters are short, because then it's like milestones. I can read it and go. And so Discipline is Destiny is number 1. I would definitely check this book out. Ryan Holiday, and give him a listen too. There's also podcasts with Ryan Holiday that are very good, so I would definitely check this out. Now, going on to my number 4 book, and I actually don't have the physical copy, I gave it to somebody, but it is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I will put a picture of it on the screen somewhere, and probably like right here, put it like right there. Yeah, so I don't want to go too much in this book because I actually have a guide on my summary of the book, and that is linked in the description. So if you want to go check that out after this, you can. Basically, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck is about helping you pick and choose what matters to you, and then deciding if you should care about certain things, which in reality, a lot of things that you may care about most likely don't matter. So I'm not going to go too much in that. Again, Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, link in the description. There's a summary on my channel that goes over the book if you don't want to read it, or maybe if you just want to learn more about it. It's very interesting, written by Mark Manson, one of my favorite authors, and yeah, check that out after this. Coming in at the number 3 spot, this book is by far one of the greatest books I've ever read, Atomic Habits. I know this is kind of basic. If you're in the self-improvement world, if you know anything, you know that Atomic Habits is a big cliche kind of book, but it is really nice. This book, written by James Clear, helps you break down the concept of a habit, why we do things the way we do, and then how to destroy certain habits and gain certain habits. And he just breaks down the idea of habits, and like little by little, how to just make your life better, how to make your time better, and how to have a better routine. One thing I learned from that book that was really crazy is that a lot of times we actually tend to put the same shoe on first, or like the same sock on first every time, or we step down the stairs with the same foot every single time and like don't even realize it. It's just a habit. We built up the habit like that. So just imagine how many little habits in your life might be preventing you from making the decisions you want to make. For example, one habit that I had was whenever things got difficult, especially in school, I would like hop on my phone scrolling through TikTok. When I read this book, I learned when I would have that problem. I learned the trigger for those bad habits, and I was able to prevent them from happening. So this book was really, really good. It helped me become more disciplined and helped me actually have a lot of productivity in my day. So coming in at number 2, and I'm sure you probably read this, heard about this. Everyone's heard about this. If you're in college, there's a good chance you probably heard of this book. How to Win Friends and Influence People. This is the Bible of social psychology. This right here is such a good book. I mean, I've read it, so I actually read this book daily. I try to, at least. Just like a chapter, I'll kind of skim through it, but I've read this book. I love it, man. Top to bottom, every single part of this book is so good. There's just all sorts of information on how to treat people, how you should act. I know what you might be thinking, oh, I don't want to influence anybody. I don't want to, isn't that manipulation? That is not the case. This book it's not about manipulation. It's about being nice and courteous to other people. You can get things in return, but realistically, you shouldn't be expecting things in return. This book is really good. I would recommend reading this to anybody. Definitely first read. This was actually the first book that I read. The last book on the list. This is by far my favorite book of all time. This was the second book that I ever read, and I really enjoyed it. This book, phenomenal. And if you're in the self-improvement space, or you've listened to anyone in the self-improvement space, you would understand that a lot of people actually find this to be their favorite book as well, and I understand why completely. This book is The Way of the Superior Man by David Deida, and I actually don't have the physical copy on me, but I will put it right here again. The Way of the Superior Man is about how you should approach the world as a man with purpose and with dignity and honor. And also it teaches you about the masculine and feminine polarities. This book really does a deep dive into the sexual energy and intimacy between men and women, and how to use that to treat a woman. It's really mainly about treating a woman. If you know how to treat a woman properly, you can keep her around forever, which is the ultimate goal if you're trying to get married. And yes, this book is just so good. Every bit of it, he goes into detail of really helping you understand the woman mind, and that's the thing that most men our age tend to have a problem with, is understand, and even past our age. Actually, the person I gave the book to is way older than me. So yes, The Way of the Superior Man, we tend to have a problem understanding women's psychology. And the difference is, I don't want to go too much into it, but there's a big difference. We think logically as men, where women think emotionally. This is about understanding her emotions and treating her properly. Because especially nowadays, it seems like most men aren't treating women properly at all. It's evil, honestly. So in this book, you'll learn how to treat a woman, how she wants to be treated. She might not even say it out loud. And also, the last thing that this book talks about is how the women and the world will both test you intrinsically. There's no animosity there maybe towards you from your woman. They will test you every single day, and it's your job as a man to hold your stillness and to be ready to adapt to anything that happens. So those are the books. I'm just going to go over them one more time. We have Discipline is Destiny by Ryan Holiday, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, which I don't have the physical copy, Atomic Habits by James Clear, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and then finally The Way of the Superior Man. So I would recommend finding some of these books on Amazon, just picking up maybe one of them. Also, if you struggle reading, which I understand because for most of my life, I hated reading. In school, when they would pull up we had reading time in English class, I would just sit there on my phone and mess with my friend next to me. I hated reading. And it wasn't until I learned the beauty of reading that I was able to gain so much knowledge. And the power in these books is just so crazy. So I think getting into reading is something very important. I know it's probably something you've been thinking of doing for a time now, but you just haven't really gotten around to it. Get started ASAP, because the more you learn, the easier your life becomes. And with that being said, I'm also going to be dropping a video soon about reading, because again, in my time, I've gotten very distracted when it was time to read in class, and when it was time to, whenever I wanted to sit down and read, you read the first paragraph and then your mind wanders everywhere. Yeah, I've had that problem in my life too. So the goal is to help you not have that problem. So I'm gonna be dropping a reading guide and how to get started probably in the next week. And I'll see you in the next one. Subscribe, like the video, and stop scrolling through social media so you have time to read. Have a great day.